Telling him not to counterpunch. Oh! Will Rockman get up or have the table? Telling him not to counterpunch. Oh!
A beautiful morning to you. You're welcome to ATN Sports Personality Show. It's another beautiful Saturday morning where we bring you another sports personality on the show. My name is Kingsley Mado, and I'm very happy to be here this morning to bring you another sports personality. Of course, you know how we do it. On every edition of the show, we'll bring a particular sports personality on the show, and we'll tell you all that you need to know about the personality. So it promises to be another exciting one today. Today, we should take a look at the head coach of Nigerian senior female basketball team as it stands this morning. Rena Wakama, of course, she's the head coach of Nigerian senior female basketball team, and we're going to take a look at what she's been able to do with the side at the Afro Basketball Championship. It's actually her first outing, and she's been able to take them to the final. We'll take a look at her life, how she started her coaching career, and at the time her playing career as well as a basketball player. It promises to be a whole lot, of course. Promises to be an exciting one this morning in ATN Sports Personality Show this morning. So we'll urge you to sit tight, as of course we're ready to bring you all that you need to know about Rena Wakama this morning. Please stay with us.
Telling him not to counterpunch. Oh! Will Rockman get up or have the table?
Back at the ATN Sports Personality Show. We told you we're talking about the head coach of Nigerian senior female basketball team. Rena Wakama, of course, is her name, and we're going to take a look at what she's been able to do in basketball. Where does she play basketball, and how has she been able to evolve from playing, to being a coach? And this time she's the head coach of Nigerian senior female basketball team. Talking about the Tigress of Nigeria. Join me on today's edition of the show is Emmanuel Michael. Good morning to you, Michael, and welcome to another edition of ATN Sports Personality Show.
Thank you. Good morning, Kingsley, and good morning to our viewers out there. It's a beautiful morning out here.
Beautiful morning it is, and we're going to take a look at how it's been so interesting and beautiful for Rena Wakama. Talking about Rena Wakama, she's a basketball coach and a former professional basketball player who has been named as the head coach of Nigerian women's basketball team, the Tigress. On April 11th, 1992, Rena Wakama was born in Rivers State, Nigeria. She had a great deal of talent and passion for basketball from a young age, which eventually helped her break into the professional ranks of the game. Her perseverance and diligence established the groundwork for a spectacular career that has since evolved into coaching. Interesting one from what we've seen so far about Rena Wakama. She was actually giving birth down here in River State, and she had that so much passion, in basketball. And from what we saw was a level of diligence and perseverance that actually made her, of course, to still remain as a basketball enthusiast, and as well she went into playing, and then she evolved as well into coaching.
Yeah, for me, a massive one, you must say. And many people actually don't actually know that she's a Nigerian because of the phonetics when she's being interviewed. Why? Because she has lived a majority of her life there in United States of America. Just like we said earlier, born in 11th April 1992 at Raleigh, North Carolina, United States of America. And she actually hails from River State, Okrika local government to be precise. That is where the parent hailed for. And the parent actually lived in Abuja before making their sojourn down there to United States of America, where she has lived most of her life. And Okrika in River State here is the southern part of Nigeria. For people who are not well acquainted with River State, the southern part of Nigeria here, a riverine region. And then they have crude oil as one of their major resources down here. So the life of Rena Wakama has been that of marvelous, moving from here with the parent down to the United States of America, and attended a Forest Roseville High School, what we call secondary school out here, where she actually pick up and grew the passion for basketball, and actually that propels her because of the passion she has for the game. Even while in her junior secondary school Kada out there in United States of America, she actually averaged a game of 14.9 points and 2.9 assists and 3.2 rebound. This beautiful feat was actually spotted by some of the coaches out there in her secondary school days, and from there she was being nurtured, and she grew up to the level that we've seen her today. So it was a beautiful one.
A beautiful one for Rena Wakama. It was really an impressive one, when she was actually growing up and nurturing her talents, as a kid, when it comes to basketball. And today she's now a professional coach for Nigerian D Tigers, at this point in time, and it's actually a very huge job. But let's talk about still our background, because just like you mentioned, she's from River State of Africa precisely. And when it comes to basketball down here in River State, we've seen growth in basketball. There used to be basketball clinic, in some part of River State, and basketball championship, and all of that. What do you make of River State when it comes to unearthing talents in basketball?
For me, I think we have fall short of that pegging order when it has to do with unearthing talent. When it has to do with basketball, we have not truly been able to look into that area properly so as to nurture some good basketball.
When you talk about basketball
there
in River State, I think there's little bit of an improvement. We've seen River Supers. They've been one of the teams in the Nigerian Basketball League that have won the league so many times. I think they've actually done it than any other team so far from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
River Supers, Ogo Dado is the coach, and they've actually done a whole lot.
Yeah.
So when it comes to River State, you definitely give it the fact that their talents are bound down here. In basketball, talents are bound down here.
Yeah, no doubt, talents are bound out here, but the ability for we to keep on nurturing them and passing them from one stage to another so as to get to the national team is left to be seen. If we have the talent cut across every local government in River State out here, and we are keeping close tabs on this young talent, then we must see the reflections of this talent in our national team, because for me, if you don't actually see the reflection of the talent that is bound here in our national team, it simply means that we are not doing enough. And there is need for us to do more than what we are doing right now. No doubt, we have so many talent cut across, local government here in Rivers State. But our ability to keep close tap on these players, give them the platform to excel. Just like you said, our basketball team out here, they have done excellently well, in a couple of years, winning laurels every year. But how many of these talents have you had their name? In our national team, talking about the D Tigers or the D Tigers.
They always represent.
They do, but how many of them compared to the arrays of talents that we have out here? So that is one angle they need to look into and be able to give them that platform, so that we have the advantage out there. What if we are going for national competition, just like the D Tigers is logging it out there with the rest of the African continent, and we got into the final hoping to play against Senegal? How many of our local breed here in Rivers State is in that squad?
Will you really blame them? Will you really blame them when you take a look at basketball down here in Nigeria? River Supers, they couldn't go, I think, for the second edition or for the Basketball African League,
yes,
due to the ugly situation when it comes to the Nigerian Basketball Federation as well. We saw the other team, of course, that went in the last edition of for the Basketball African League as well. I think Kwara Falcons, they couldn't actually put up a very, very impressive performance. Taking a look at the fact that for some seasons now, the Nigerian Basketball League has not been active. Will you blame the talent or the players, or probably the way basketball has been managed so far in the country?
Well, I blame that to the authority and not to the players, because some of the talent are even looking for this platform for them to showcase their talent. But if the platform and the opportunity is not coming for them, you don't have anything to do. So for me, I think the bulk of the blames should lie on the authority, and that is why we keep advocating as a sport enthusiasts, sport analysts, to to our federation to be able to put their acts together, so that we can be able to unearth talent. We have so many Nigeria is really blessed when it has to do with talent, be it basketball, football, taekwondo, whatever sport that you want to think of. Nigeria have the talent, but it boils down to maladministration. That is the problem that we are facing.
Because if you take a look at the case of Rena Wakama now, she didn't actually spend much time down here in at home. She groomed herself, when it comes to basketball outside the country, even as a player and as a coach, as a stand. So, and if you take a look at the players in basketball down here in Nigeria that are doing well, most of them are not really homebred. Are you saying? Will you say with the amount of talents that we have, that we've actually lacked the process, in trying to make them global stars?
Definitely, because the process is consistency and grassroots development. Fine, if you go back to the grassroots to be able to unearth this talent out there, do we actually have the facility to put them on the on the radar of standard of what is compared to the European counterpart? The answer is no. We don't have the facility out there. That is why you see some of these our young athletes willing and wishing, pushing through to see us to beat this part of the line, to go to the other side of the world, talking about the European country, because there they have all the facility to train with in a very standard one. But here we don't have them, coupled with the bad administrative processes that we have over time find ourselves. So it jeopardizes the morale of a good and vibrant athlete who is willing to showcase his or her talent in the international stage. Because if you don't have all of this, facilities to train with, you don't have a proper management and organization, definitely your hands will be tied. Even if you have the talent, you can't do anything about it. So there is need for us to improve in all ramifications.
Now, with this now, can we say that in the case of Rena Wakama, that it is because of where she grew up, and nurtured her talents that actually give her this opportunity at the moment.
Absolutely yes, absolutely yes. Because if she has stayed back here in Nigeria to develop her talent, I don't think she will get to the apex, to the stardom where we've seen her right now. She started her early development, like I said, in her secondary school age, and was very fantastic. That is why some of the coach keep a close eye on her. Even at a secondary school level, she has won MVP player of the junior national team there in the secondary school. And from there she progressed to the Western Carolina University out there, to which she also played a major role. In fact, she was their shining light there in the university, in her university days at Western Carolina University. She actually played for one of the big club out there in basketball, talking about Catamount. She actually plied her trade there for complete 4 good seasons, and was one of the best players at that point in time in the university, and went down to also play for Carolina Flamingo basketball there in the university rather. So you see all of this progress, and the coaches actually spotted the enormous talent in her. They keep a close eye on her and keep grooming her until she actually finish from her university out there, and pick up a professional angle of it by trying to represent Nigeria. She even took part in one of the FIBA Afro Basketball League here in Nigeria, and played for the D Tigers. Also played in the United Kingdom for different clubs out there, because of the environment to which she finds herself. The support is there, the facility is there to train with. But back here in Nigeria, I bet you, if she has been here, my brother, you and I wouldn't have been hearing of Rena Wakama today. That is the truth.
All right, an interesting one. Talking about Rena Wakama, how we are down to becoming the coach of for Nigerian D Tigers at the moment, has really been a rosy one, if you ask me at this point in time. A whole lot of person are saying if she was to be in Nigeria, maybe she wouldn't have been the coach of for the side, as it stands. But it's really been an impressive road, for her at it is now. But talking about education, Rena Wakama is a talented basketball player, but she's also a dedicated student. She graduated from Western Carolina with a degree in therapeutics. Then talking about her education as well, she wasn't really that much. She wasn't putting on her interest, strengths, in basketball. She was also interested in higher education as well.
Sure, the combination of her education and sports actually take her far to where she is. And funny enough, though, even while she was still nurturing this ambition of becoming a professional basketballer, she's still very much dedicated. She was still very much dedicated to her educational pursuit and career. And at some point where some of the sisters, because she actually, I forgot to add that she actually had 2 sisters as well, Yone and Mina, who doubles as her sister to a parent of Rosanna Oba, like I said, who are from Okrika in River State here. And one of the sisters do not take interest in education. It was her, Rena Wakama that actually encouraged her because of her good and excellent performance in her educational, pursuit and career. That is why one of the younger sisters had to even pick up. So she has this passion, not just for the basketball, but also for education. That is why we've seen her not just an athlete, but a professional educationally in the field that she has found herself.
Interesting that she studied therapeutic recreation and continued her studies by earning an MBA from Manhattan. This academic background demonstrates her dedication to personal development and provide aspirant athletes with an encouraging role model. When Wakama transitioned into teaching after her playing career, which has proven to be a natural step for her. At the present, she assists the head coach of Stony Brook University in the United States. She has invaluable insight to help develop and mentor the upcoming crop of basketball talent thanks to her coaching experience and her time as well, as a player, at this point in time. Despite looking for a degree, she was also optimistic of coaching, even while she was a basketball player. She went, it even got to time where she had to assist, a manager as well, just to get experience. And one thing so particular about it is the fact that she was so interested in grooming young talent, in basketball.
Yeah, and it boils down to
think,
her.
I think from what we're saying, it's all about that she really has passion.
She has passion for it, and she has set herself ready for this. She actually know the direction to which she was heading to. That is why she not actually spend quite long time as a player, because at least she had already had her work cut out, because she knows the angle to which she was heading. She was having eye on grooming young talents out there. Even when she has finish her professional career, the next thing was her to serve as an assistant coach for the Flamingos, the Caroline Flames rather, where she actually played while in her school days. She served as an assistant coach from there, and the passion for her to groom talent has been there over time, even while she was still active, and the passion for coaching as well was also there, even while she was playing as a professional basketballer. So for me, I think she has already set out her own calendar and timetable on what she wants to do with her life. That is why she has to combine it effectively, playing and also giving much attention as well to education, and also trying to raise and nurture young talent. And so for me, I think all of this culminated to her passion. And again, you had the interview a few days ago while she was being interviewed. She said that she has had this passion long before now, and to her is a dream come true to be appointed as the national basketball team coach, because this is one of the opportunity that she has been dreaming for, because she has long time had this passion to be able to work and groom players that will do the country proud.
Interesting one. Talking about Serena Wakama, she actually developed that passion of grooming young talents in basketball down here in Nigeria, and putting them on the global mark, and to make a lasting impression on the game by frequently representing our nation in games as well. And that's what she's been able to do, and even down here, even at this time where she's now the coach of Nigeria, the Tigers. Now, she was a valuable member of the national squad due to her commitment to sports and her talent on the courts, and was such an impressive one was seen. So even at her time of playing, to the time where she went to look for a degree, and as well becoming an assistant coach, and putting up that mindset of being a coach for the national team one day. I think if you take a look at it, Rena Wakama's dream or aspiration in life, probably yes, it has been fulfilled, if you ask me.
Definitely. If you hear her last interview, I just pointed to that a few days ago, that she actually said that her passion was driven from the fact that she has had this long time ambition of becoming a national team coach, so as to contribute her own quota to the development of Nigerian basketball, and not only Nigeria but Africa as a whole, because according to her, she wants to bring the wealth of experience that she has been able to garner out there, both as a professional basketballer, both as a coach, and bring it down to Nigeria and to add value to the African basketball league. So for me, I think all of this goes a whole long way to tell us that when you set your passion right, then there is no limit to what you can achieve.
Interesting one, and this is a very huge one at this point. Just like Michael, you mentioned, when you set your passion right, there is nothing that you cannot achieve, and that's what we've seen from Rena Wakama at this point in a time. But Michael, let's come down to Nigeria once again. Do we really have people that are so passionate, like Ren and Wakama when it comes to basketball? Have we really seen, or probably you will say that the bad administration of Nigerian basketball has hindered or probably discouraged people from even trying to dive into the sports. But from what we've seen as well, do we really have such people on ground?
Well, I would say that we have them. We have a lot of them out there talking about the Hakeem Olajuwon of this world, who was once a famous basketball player out there, who made Nigeria proud. I will have this recent one that is currently playing for, is it? I've forgotten the name of the club in the United States, but very, prominent, basketballer who hails from Nigeria. He was just here a few months back when he came to spend his holiday. I will still remember his name.
The NBA, is that NBA star?
Yes, an NBA
the
star.
President Achua?
No.
Because President Achua was in River State, I think.
Yeah,
this
it's an
week.
NBA. Don't worry, before the show runs down, I will remember his name. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that we have some, this football. I mean, basketball enthusiasts out there that are ready to contribute their own quota to the development and growth of African and Nigerian basketball in general. But most time, like we keep hammering, the administrative process, makes it very difficult for these individuals to contribute their own quota out there. Like Kim Olajuwon, like I mentioned earlier, has one academy there in Lagos and Ibadan, which is nurturing young talent out there to be able to give them fame and that popularity, and to make them achieve their dreams in life. So for me, the administrative process is just the issue that we have here in not just Nigeria but in Africa as a whole. There is need for us to get it right, because if we don't get it right, many people will not be willing to bring out their money so as to invest in basketball, because you want to invest in a place where you are given the platform for you to express that goodwill intent that you have for your fatherland, that love, that loyalty that you want to show. Not just loyalty in the mouth, but also they want to back it up by financially giving out some things out there, and creating an organization where young talent can be raised and hopes is given to the hopeless, giving a platform for people out there to achieve their dream. But it becomes difficult with the bottleneck processes that you get to pass through from one offices to another, meet who know, and who know what it is down here. So most of the times, some of them who have the passion to add or contribute their own quota to the development of Nigerian basketball, they wouldn't want to go through those stress of passing from one bureaucratic processes or the other just because you want to help your own country. So most of the time they just back off because the administrative process is not properly organized. So for me, I think there is need for us to go back to the drawing board. We keep saying this every time, we keep going back to the drawing board. When will this drawing board full? But my brother, we'll keep going back there until we get it right before we stop going back to the drawing board. The administrative wise, we are not getting it right. That is why we've seen our basketball development taking like 2 steps backward from what it used to be. We had all of the leadership tussles a few years ago that even stopped us from attending a major competition. So for me, I think having this kind of a tussle here and there, and political infringement as well, who will think that sport is all about politics. There is a clear disparity between sports and politics. You don't mix politics and sport. Sometimes though you need to play some politics, but not all that. So most time we try to bring in politics into sport activity, and by so doing we are taking back the hand of clock. Instead of progressing, we are retrogressing. So these processes and these things that I've mentioned here serves as a clog in the wheel of progress of some good Nigerians who want to benevolently give out their support, to their fatherland, but because of the processes, the organizers, the administrative processes, the bottleneck activity and the stress that you want to pass through just because you want to help your country. So most of them, they just back out. Not that we don't have people that are willing to come and add their own quota, but the stake is not right.
The stake is not right down here in Nigerian basketball, but we'll pray that, of course, things will get better. At least from what we've seen, Brenda Wakam and what she has done. I will pray that the leadership of the Nigerian Basketball Federation will learn something from this and be able to put things right. I think this will encourage, the players and even the basketball enthusiasts down here in the country, to buy into basketball and develop the sport. Because when you talk about basketball in Nigeria, just like you mentioned, there are talents down here when it comes to basketball. The Tigers are #1 in Africa.
Sure.
The Tigers are #1 in Africa. So, we don't lack the talents. When we go out there, the performance is always top-notch from the Tigers, the Tigers as well. So I think if we can add more effort on what we're doing, if we can build on this, definitely we should be competing favorably, in the world stage. Remember, last 2 years ago, the D Tigers were in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I think they put up a very impressive performance. They were able to take down France, in that encounter. That means we can do more if we put our house together and be able, of course, to take basketball down here to the next level. So let's see how this one goes. We hope the Nigerian Basketball Federation will do more to make sure basketball gets to the next level down here in Nigeria. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back from this break, we'll take a look at Rena Wakama's time with the Nigerian D Tigers. When she was appointed, and now she has been able to lead the team in her first outing in the Afro Basketball Championship. Please stay.
Telling him not to counterpunch. Oh! Will Rockman get up or have the penalty?
Welcome back, the ATN Sports Personality Show on Atlantic Television Network. We're taking a look at the life of Rena Wakama, the head coach of the senior female basketball team of Nigeria. Talking about Nigerian D Tigers, and we're taking a look at what she's been able to do, in her career as a player and as a coach. Currently with the Nigerian D Tigers at the moment. Rena Wakama's aptitude as a coach was acknowledged by the Nigerian Basketball Federation, which named her as the D Tigers head coach on June 30th this year. African champions in Brain, Rena Wakama takes over as head coach of D Tigers, the continent current champions, after Uti Soholi stepped down. Under the direction of former coaches, the team successfully defended their continental championship in 2017 and again 2019 and 2021. Expectation are high as the team works to maintain its leadership in Africa basketball now that Rena Wakama is in charge of the side. The former player for the United States national team has decided to leave her position as an assistant coach at Stony Brook University in the UK. Let's talk about Rena Wakama with the D Tigers of Nigeria. Michael, first of all, what do you think might have prompted the decision from the Nigerian basketball, to appoint her as a coach of D Tigers after the departure of Uti Soheli?
Well, for me, I think it boils down to her managerial prowess. Don't forget, she's in her fourth year as an assistant coach with Manhattan College out there in the United States of America. And barely 2 years after she has served as director of basketball operation there in the United States of America, after serving 2 years there, she was promoted as the assistant coach. Now, don't forget, immediately she retired from active basketball. She took another role of being an assistant coach in a very big club, talking about the Carolina Flames out there in the United States of America, where she had actually played before. So looking at all of this progression, it's very clear before the European counterpart could give you such strategic position for you to man. It clearly speaks volume about your efficiency. That is why it is not surprising to see that when Otis left unceremoniously, because of one or two fracas out there with the authority, she was quickly drafted in. Why? Because she has been able to build on what she knows how to do best, being an assistant coach and served as a director of women basketball and a senior head for that department at that point in time. It clearly speaks the volume of the confidence that the authority have for you before they could entrust you such a heavy responsibility, and she was able to deliver successfully. And that is why when Otis left, like I said earlier, unceremoniously, she was quickly drafted into filling the void. And not too many people as well possibly gave her the chance to tutor this team or to tinker these girls to go this far, but she has been able to prove that as strong out there because she she's actually bringing her wealth of experience to bear. Because don't forget, in her tender age, even while still playing, she still have this administrative mindset that she want to venture into possibly coaching. And again, she's also a personal trainer out there. She have too many experience when it has to do with the administrative part of the game. One who has the administrative acumen, he has the technical prowess. I mean, what else do you need from such a coach that have been in a top standard out there? And that is why it is not surprising to me that they got her appointed as the national head coach of the D Tigers. And like I said earlier, she has not faltered. 4 wins out of her 4 first official duty. For me, I think it's marvelous. And the way she goes about it, she's not just churning out the result by fluke. You see the girls, the way they play is very convincing. The results are very convincing. Unlike what Otis did some time ago, where we even struggled to grind out the result. But this one, the results are very clinical, and you see the girls play with cohesion. You see this understanding, the chemistry is there, and you see her behind the touchline when she's trying to dish out instruction to the girls, and the way the girls respond, it will clearly tells you that she's a perfect fit for the job. So for me, I think she has been able to pay her dues, and her time has come. Let's give her all of the support needed.
She actually left Stony Brooks University, where she was the assistant coach down there in the United States of America.
Yeah.
To take this job, for Nigerian D Tigers for Nigerian D Tigers, at the
appointed. She said that it has been her long-time ambition and dream for her to come and contribute her own quota to her father's land. And again, I think the environment to which she grew goes a whole long way to affect her, mentality, the way she thinks, contrary to what some people think in this part of the climb. And naturally, sometimes when you grow in such a scenic climate and environment, your thinking mentality is quite different. You are not doing anything for the money of it, but for the passion and the love that you have for your country. That is what actually propelled her to leave the job that she's handling, the very critical job for that matter, coming to pick up this very job where that there's a whole lot of challenges surrounded around the job, and you could be fired any day, any time. But she
might not even be paid.
Exactly, but she had to stand down on those thinking and came down to pick up this. That is why I say the environment to which she grew actually went a whole long way to change her thinking faculty to reason different way. Because if you were to be a natural African woman that is brought up in this part of the climb, what comes into her mind first is about her money. It's about the money and not about patriotism and passion. But over there in the other side, they think differently. They don't put money first. They put their family first. They put the passion first. They put their zeal and what they intend, the mark they want to make first. Just like Ashley Plante of the Oyibo world of the Super Falcons. When she was being interviewed, she said that they asked her, why do you find it very easy to pick Nigeria ahead of England, where you have lived majority of your life? She said that actually she discovered that she has not been able to delve so much into her African root, Nigerian root per se, and she want to explore that avenue. Look at the reason that made her to quit the national team of England to come and play for England.
She's very behaved.
Very excited.
Very
when you
humble.
see, I'm telling
she
you.
plays with the girls and try to adapt.
You see some of the the victory dance, one Yoruba song dance where she was actually dancing to the tune after their win against Australia. It tells you that she's at home. Why did she think that way? That is why I tell you the environment, the climate to which she grew up goes a whole long way to change everything about your thinking now, faculty. That is why Rena Wakama did not consider the fact that she's living a well-paid job that is very assured. You have all of the facilities in place, coming down to take a risk. Because to me, it's like a gamble coming here, knowing all of the problems that we are passing through, the FA and all this, but yet she did not consider that, And so for me, I think that goes a long way to show her, resilience, her passion and dedication, and patriotism to her fatherland.
Talking about Rena Wakama's outing at the 2023 FIBA Women Afro Basketball Championship. It was actually her first outing with the side, and she's been able to win 4 games. And then she's played 4 games. She has won the 4, and she has qualified the Tigers to the 4th consecutive Women Afro Basketball Championship final. Impressive feat. We saw the games she played, and the first was against DR Congo, where the Tigers beat DR Congo 69-35, very high margin in that encounter. And the game against Mozambique, it ended 59-52 in favor of the Tigers as well. Against Egypt, it ended 83-65 in favor of the Tigers, and against Rwanda, 79-48 in favor of the Tigers as well. And it's been an impressive one, of course, for them so far. But talking about Rena Wakama, she's projected net worth as of 23 ranges from $50,000 to $250,000, and her success as a player and in her present position as head coach surely has an impact on her wealth. But it's important to keep in mind that coaches' salaries frequently fluctuate based on things like experience, level of competition, and endorsement deals as well. So coming down from Stony Brooks down to Nigeria to handle the Tigers, maybe her salary, of course, might probably skyrocket, but we don't know what the MUF will do with her when it comes to salary, and as well paying her when due, as it stands. And we hope the girls don't actually come back as well and start complaining of bonuses, and all of that, because it is someone actually put it on the fact that Nigeria always have that notorious behavior of rewarding players or athletes at this point in time. They've done very well, and we pray they give them their entitlement at the end of the day. But Michael, what do you make of Rena Wakama going forward with the D Tigers?
Well, I see her moving up the radar, because we've seen her performances so far in this 4 official duty that she has taken place, and we have seen that she has been able to align well with the guests, which is very, very important, because if she does not have this understanding, this chemistry existing between her and the guests, I don't think she will get to the final of this very one. So for me, the understanding with the girls comes first, and because these girls are the one that is going to give you the result out there. You as a coach, you just stand by the sideline and pass 1 or 2 instructions, but if you are not properly in tandem with the players, you might stand on the touchline and give your instruction, but because the players are not in tandem with you, they will even not even consider the instruction that they are passing out there. They are going out there to do their own thing in their own way. But because of this understanding that exists between her and the players, I think that is the reason why we have been able to churn out the result that we've seen so far. So for me, going forward, I see her being that perfect G Tigress coach that is going to stay there for a long period of time, if given the necessary and needed support from the Nigerian Basketball Federation.
Talking about going forward, the final will be against Senegal. Do you see them winning this one?
Well, it's a very tough call to make here, because Senegal, they are not pushover. They are also very good side when it has to do with the African football. Don't forget, they've also won